Hi, it's Nell, and I'm at my Bougainvillea Barberkarst because it is time to do Bougainvillea After a Hard Freeze Part 2. So stick around to see how it has come back. It's nice and warm and sunny now, and what I am going to do about it. So if you like videos about gardening, houseplants, succulents, pruning, repotting, all that good stuff, please subscribe because I have a lot more videos coming your way. And if you are new to the channel, hello and welcome. If you are returning, hello and welcome also. And it is Sunday in the late afternoon, so I'm like, all I want to do is lay in the hammock, but A, I don't have a hammock. And B, I really want to get this cleaned up because it's time before it gets too blastedly hot here in Tucson. So first I'm going to show you my other bougainvilleas, how they're doing. And then you'll see a close-up of this one. And I'll just take you down my little garden just to show you the other bougainvilleas. They've always been a lot thinner just because they don't get as much sun, but I like the really airy form of this one over the house because I don't want any of them blocking that window anyway. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Here I go on the rock. And this one was just putting out some blooms. It's a yellow, just like the yellow lantana back there. Oops. Yep. I'm going to plant a cactus in that empty pot right there. Okay, so here it is here. It's filled in a lot at the base and over here where it was full anyway. That's going on. And these branches have never had foliage appear on them at the end, and it is June 2nd, so it's already very warm. So I'm just going to cut these back to where I see foliage appearing. I'll get over here so you can see. Where does it appear? Oh, it appears about right there on this one. Same. I already cut this one back a bit because it was sticking out, but the foliage is down there. I'm probably going to cut it to there. And these up here, the same. Foliage down about probably a quarter of the way down. So I have a little bit of shaping to do. So if you watch the video, the first one, Bougainvillea Part 1, where you should actually watch that one first, or skim or speed watch it. This is something that is new to me, Bougainvillea with a hard freeze, because I used to live in Santa Barbara. No hard freeze at all, and first year I was in Tucson, fine. The second year there was a light freeze, but this year there were a few hard freezes, and the bougainvilleas took a little hard hit. So this is a follow-up to show you how it's coming back now that it is really, really warmed up, and I'm going to explain what I'm going to do with this. Now, I am just going to take out the dead wood, thin out a few of these green shoots too, and take it up off of the driveway and take the height down a little bit. And of course, get rid of those dead branches. But how you prune your bougainvillea is up to you, whatever you find pleasing to your eye. I like mine a little more free-form and a tad bit airier, but I'm not minding this form now, so I'm going to just thin it out a little bit. So I'm going to work on it a bit, and then I'll come back and I will show you what I'm doing. Like this branch here, I'm going to cut back to about here because that's where the foliage is. Same with this one up here, because if new growth hasn't appeared on it by now, it's not going to happen. And I'm just going to tip prune a lot of these branches too, because my garage is right over to this side. Oh, you can see the window, yes. So I don't want it taking up too much room, but I don't want it hedged either. And of course it was more protected from the cold at the base here. So this is really full down here. So I'm going to get that up off of the driveway. So I've gotten the bougainvillea up off of the driveway there, thinned out there. I have to take out a little bit in the back and then tip the top down there, but I've taken out a lot of the dead branches. And boy, just be careful when you do, because they are like needles now. So I don't have too much more to go, but it is coming along. And I'm also taking out this kind of growth here that looks like it is not going to flower. There's still some down in there that I want to get, because what happens is eventually this outer growth will shade that inner growth and it gets all kind of thin and scrawny anyway. So onward I go, and then I have to do the other side. Okay, so here's a lot of those, or just an example of some of the dead branches I took out. I took out a lot more. I've already taken them across the street to be picked up. So, and this is some of that green growth and some of the tipping in there, but just took it down a little bit and not too much. Still a little thicker on that side. So just opens it up a little bit here, but I don't mind because I'm at the end of a dead-end street. There's a wash down here. There's not even really a place to turn around, so I am nice and private back here, so I don't need a really thick hedge type of a plant. As a screen, I just like this because it provides color and some greenery right off of the kitchen. That sliding glass door goes into the kitchen there. It's about 6:30, so it's time to wrap this up for today. I'm almost all done. As you can see, it's pretty thin over here, but that's a lot of the dead I took out. Not too bad here. I pinched it back, so I did thin out in the middle, because when you pinch back, it causes it to fill out along the branches. So it's going to look a little bit thinner for about 2 weeks, but bougainvillea grows fast, especially here where it's so warm and sunny. So it'll be getting a nicer form. Actually, I don't mind the form now. I like this form. It'll be getting a little fuller form, and then probably in maybe end of August, I'll do some more pruning, or into September, or I might do a little bit of, shaping in the next month or so, but nothing major because it is going to get hot here very soon. It's about 5:30 in the morning, and I finished this up yesterday morning while it was still cool here in Tucson, and I just mainly took out a lot of dead from this side in here. Oops, I forgot that. I'm gonna take out that big awkward branch too. But as you can see, the ligustrum shows a lot more now, but hey, that's okay. And there were a couple palms down there, and I took those out because you know what? They ain't gonna be growing in there. You know what? It's just a couple minutes later, and there's that sun coming over the Catalinas. Okay, back to the bougainvillea. Here it is. I actually don't mind it at all now. At first, when I started doing it, I was like, oh, I don't know how this is going to turn out, but I like it. And it'll grow over there on the right and fill in a bit, but that's as tall as it's going to get. And if the ligustrum needs to be thinned out some more, I will definitely do that. But that's it. You have to, I mainly took out a lot of dead and a lot of big, thick growth. And again, how you prune yours is up to you. There's a lot of color coming on it yet, and it looks good compared to many of the other bougainvilleas in the neighborhood, which I'm going to show you. So this one, like the few other ones I'm going to show you, I'm not going to show you all of them because they all pretty much look like this, but they were cut back in, I think it was mid-January, which is too early. You can see how they were just like blunt cut down, because this one was about up to there. It was about at least 7 feet tall, and then they just cut it back, and it's now, what is it? It's like June 10th. It should be much more on its way than this. Now, aren't those bougainvilleas just lovely? They cut them back to about 20 inches, as I said, in it's right around early mid-January. We had another freeze early February, and then toward the end of February, we actually had snow. So that's why they're so slow to come back, and they look so lovely. But that's, I guess, how commercial landscapers prune bougainvillea here. They don't need to be rejuvenated every year. So now you see it about a month and a half later, how my bougainvillea has come back. Very warm, very sunny now. It's going to be putting out a lot more color in the next couple of weeks because we are warming up. And it didn't really come back the way that I thought it would. I thought those branches over on that side would at least show some new growth, but they had just gotten hit too hard, so no new growth was appearing on them, but it is okay because I like the form of it now. So if I have forgotten to say anything, because I filmed this over like a week's period, so I will have it in the blog post because there will be a blog post to go along with this, so you can check that and see if there's anything that I missed. But you know, with gardening, you just never know, and this had never happened to me before, so I wanted to share it with you, what happened and how my bougainvillea came back. Be sure and check the first post and video I did on this, which was Bougainvillea After a Freeze Part 1. The link will be down below in the description box and also on my website, JoyUsGarden.com. So I hope you have found this video to be helpful. I have a lot more videos coming your way, so stay tuned for those. I thank you for all your likes and your subscribes. I really appreciate them. Now let's get out in the garden and make our worlds a more colorful and beautiful place. As always, I thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye!